Hello, everyone. Welcome to Design Systems Unlocked, and I'm Ankur Katal, and I will be your host for today's session. Today's session will be focused completely on the design tokens, and mostly going hands-on how to create a token and how it gets transferred to transform to a CSS variable, and then how you will use it for your giving it to your developers. So handoff process as well, kind of. So let's kick off with what sessions were planned. This was the first session I did a few weeks ago on mastering the foundations of design system. This is our second session, which we are focusing on hands-on mastering Token Studio for creating, managing, and implementing design tokens with multi-brand theming capabilities. Then we'll have a no-code component and token session, which will be like a session after this, which will help us to develop the code through white coding, and also using this token workflow from Figma to your developed component. Then we'll be talking about governance and scaling, and then last will be AI-powered design system. Today's agenda is first, what are design tokens and what will be, how will we use it in our Figma. Second, we'll do a hands-on session, and third, a Q&A. Our session goals are pretty clear: understanding design token fundamentals, how to use design tokens, and understanding tokens to CSS variables workflow. Few things to keep in mind: Q&A will be during hands-on session. If you need more time to chat, you can book one-on-one call with me on ADP list. And be curious, not perfect. And we are building a community here for design system and design tokens. A small intro of myself. I'm Ankur Katal, and I'm a senior UX designer focusing on design systems and Gen AI. Currently working on scaling design systems and token architecture across different platforms. Leading AI-powered UX workflows like using Figma Make. How will this process, how will Figma make a difference right now in prototyping and getting user testing quicker, and also then using Figma MCP server with Cursor to develop the components. So let's start with what are design tokens. First, design tokens are basically the atomic values that store design decisions, replacing hard-coded values with named entities that can be reused across design and code. What that means basically is there's a value which you can use across both the flows and which is a single source of truth. For example, developer is also looking at the same value and designer is also looking at the same value. So you don't have any styling issues on the development side. So there are three layers of design tokens. First is global primitive tokens. It depends on how you systemize it. This is the best way from Brad Frost as well, the suggestion from Brad Frost. What are global tokens? They are just the raw value that define the foundation of your system, which is kind of having every tool from your toolbox in place. So you have everything in global primitive tokens, everything defined in global tokens. Then comes the semantic layer. Semantic is purpose-based tokens that are reference primitives. They look at this, for example, ads.color.blue.600 tells me, okay, this holds a value of 1696 FF hex code. Basically, I'm a designer, but I don't know what color is this, and nobody would, right? So we are just giving a value to this to understand in a human readable language, which is in tokens, ads.color.blue600. Okay, now I understand blue is the color and 600 is the value. So how we define the values is also one thing. It goes from 100 to 1000, 1000 being the darkest, and 100 being the lightest of that shade. 600 or 500 are mostly the brand colors or the correct colors, which from the transformation starts on the left side or the right side. That's why blue 600. Here, when we go on the semantic layer, it is more of an brand focused layer, because what we expect to do is some brand comes in. If they want to use our design system, they will change few things here and it will automatically go on the other tokens, which is component tokens. So right now what we are saying is ads.color.primary. What primary is, it's holding a value of ads.color.blue 600. So it's pointing to this. And same going to the component tokens. If we change the value of this, the value of this will automatically change. That's how it cascades. So now, what is a component token? Component specific tokens that reference semantic tokens or primitive tokens, which are global tokens, which look on the top. Okay, I want to use this or this value for this particular component, and how that is powerful, we'll see on the hands-on session. So right now, there's one new token for component. Just for example, ADS. For example, ADS. If you guys get confused, ADS is just a design system name. Right now, I'm just naming it as Ankur Design System. Okay, something like that. Dot button dot, like it's the component name is very important here. Button dot primary dot background. So it clearly tells where this token has been applied, which is on the background of that button, which is a primary button. And what value does it hold? ads.color.primary. It is looking at this. So this is the basics of, like, very basic of design tokens, and that's how they work. So for example, if the value, like right now what I showed, if I just use this, I don't understand what it is, right? And similarly, if I want to change a value, what I said, like on the brand side, is I have to go here, ads.color.primary, and just pin this to this, like change the value from primary to from blue to green. And what it will do is it will cascade to the primary button here, which will be the green background. I will show you in the example as well, like for the start, which I showed in the previous presentation as well. Now, let's get on to the hands-on session directly, because that's what I think is important, more practical approach on how tokens work. And here I am inviting you guys to contribute and ask questions, whatever it is, and we can just have a nice hands-on session here. So first things first, let me get you the link to the community file which I've built. Just if you guys are on laptop, which is amazing, laptop or PC, go to this link which I pasted in the chat, and that link will be a file. Like, just go there and you will find this file, design tokens. Okay, here you go. Do you see this file? Like you will see it something like this, what the link I shared, and just copy it and open it in Figma. When you do that, just give me a heads up or something on the message if you guys are on that. There's an example of session 1 here, which I was showcasing for previously. Right now, I changed the design system name to wireframe because that's what I liked, and I've changed it for now. So this is what it is. Like, this is how Token Studio looks. First thing first. Global, semantic, and component level. How it works is, let me show you a few things. On the global side, we add all the tokens here, whatever the set it is. Then on semantic, we focus on just the primary or the secondary or something like that. We are curating this to a purpose-based solution, and then going on to the component for a very specific use. Right now, see, I just changed the primary button here, edit token, it's green. Now, if I change the value here, blue, it will automatically cascade down to the component, which is component is looking at now a blue color. How it helps? that we can see right now. Where here I will be focusing on doing everything from the scratch, because you guys also should know how to create tokens. Okay. First thing, okay, I didn't think of it. Like, you won't have the Token Studio plugin or what, so you can just go to this part. You can just click on plugins and just type Token Studio for Figma. Click on it, and it will automatically detect these tokens. You will have these tokens already in your file. Cool. So what we are going to do is today we are going to use very simple card, which is here. Okay, and we're just going to use tokens to control the light mode and the dark mode for it. But we are going to create every token from the scratch. That's the fun part about it. So you are looking at this color palette right now, right? This I have just added it here, because I will be using the same palette to add it to the global token. Then how will I use it in the semantic layer? And then how will I use it in a component layer? That's what I wanted to show. Font weights, I just put it because not everyone knows what 400 means. 400 means normal, 500 means medium, 600 means semi-bold, and 700 means bold. Cool. So let's start. For global, if you guys are on this tokens right now, Token Studio, we can just kick off with, okay, now we have Wireframe as a design system right now. If you want to create your own, that is also fine. You can just go here, add new token, custom something for the start. Then dot color dot. Right now it's orange, so we'll go for orange and 50. How did I come up with this? Custom is the name of the name of the design system, whatever you want to put. Right now I'm putting as a wireframe. Dot color is just to see, okay, we are putting it in the color. Orange specifically, and 50. So what is the value of it? The value is FEF0E8. Okay. I'm just creating it. You can add the description. It's good to have a description always. I'm just doing it quickly right now, just to speed up the process. Create. So you see wireframe color orange. Okay. You can see what happened here. It should have been added to this part of the layer, but JSON files are very brittle. Like, what it does is, what we are adding is getting into a JSON code here. Okay. So right now what I used is W is capital here, and when I was making the token, it is small. So that's why it created a new hierarchy of token. So right now we'll go here. I will go edit. I just want to put it in the same layer. Save. Okay, now it came up here, like orange, blue, green. Okay. Now what I will do is I will just go quickly. Like, you can directly come here, YFMO, orange, and just click add, and just do 100, and keep adding those values. F, B, D, phi, B, F. Create. I will create few more values just to have a bit more control. 200, F7, PA, 96. If you guys have any questions, you can just turn on the mic and just ask me anything if you are getting confused here right now in this flow. Last I will add right now, but mostly what I do is I add all of them, but right now, just for time sake, I will do this quickly. Okay, now these 4 tokens are added here. Let me add a few more tokens for the neutral colors as well. This neutral colors, because I want to use this for light and dark mode.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Is this the same thing as variables or no?
I would say variables are similar, but they sit inside the Figma. file, you can push this to variables. Like you can just export this file or export this to variables, which will showcase in your own file, which is Figma. But this is a bit different than variables for sure, because variables are more dynamic. This are very static, like which holds only single values, and it goes to the developers as it is. Like this values developers can also see, and they will just pinpoint that and create a variable into a component, which is a CSS variable, not a Figma variable. CSS variable, which just points to the same library. So it's in kind of a code form for them, like this, which points it to wireframe.color.600, and they can see it. So it's a bit different. But to use it and to use it in Figma, you can just push it to Figma variables, like import variables, and it will import that. I will show you that as well when I add all of them, but or I can show it right now as well. It's not a problem right now.
Okay. No, thank you for that.
Yeah, no worries. So convert numbers to dimensions and using rem for dimension values. Right now I'm using just pixels, so I'm not doing that. Just import. Now you can just see it will import. It will take a bit of time to import it because it converts. But let's keep continuing on this, and then we'll see how to apply that to semantic layer and how to apply on the component layer as well. Okay. So color wireframe color neutral dot 50. I'll just go F white for this. A few middle tones. C0, cool. Then 700, 68, and maybe a darker value, 950. 929. Okay. So now I have added four values just to get there quickly. Now, what do we want to create? First, there will be a semantic layer. Now we have added all of this. Just imagine we added all of this, and we are now going to semantic layer. Right now, the primary color is blue. I don't want blue. What I will do is I will go edit token. I will just change. I can just change the whole color values from here, and it shows it here as well. You can select it from the drop down. So I just want it somewhere like maybe 300. Okay. I will save it. Now that value is carried over there. We have it pointing to orange 300, what the value we added right now. Let's go to component now, because I want to create new component tokens specifically for this card. And how will I make it? Okay. Now, looking at this value, this looks to me a little bit lighter. So what I want to do is I will just go to, right now, this is a button and button primary background component value, right? I want to add a new component, which is wireframe card component. Now, how will I name each part of it? Always look at the context and how people might be using it and how it makes sense to read as well. So right now in card, there's a single icon, right? So I can say, okay, wireframe card, which is a component, and then I can go into icon specifically. So icon is the next level. In icon, what aspect of icon I want to change right now, or I want to have control over? It's background, right? This is the icon background, what we have. So that's how you should think of naming. This is very simple example, but we can go more deeper into this. But one more thing which might happen here is we have an icon like this is an exact icon, right? But that's a background. We are just calling the whole thing as icon. So it depends on how you want to call it. Okay. So right now it doesn't make sense for me to go icon background because or because if you start a leaf on icon dot, then you can't use that leaf as a single leaf. Like if it makes sense, wireframe dot card dot icon would be the color for this, right? This icon, but no, it isn't, because we won't be able to use it right now. So still, let's uh, let's think about it and let's go ahead with this, because icon background, and we'll say icon vector or something. Okay, let me go here. Now it shows me, okay, I want to point it to the primary background color. Or what do I want to point it to? Right now, I don't think I have a lighter color in semantic layer. But what I can do is I can just go here. I can just choose a color from the global level. So let me just choose this, and that's how it is created. Now I have a background color for this. Okay. But now I want to create a color for this particular icon too. So which is a vector, just icon vector, I will say. And this can be pointed to a semantic token because that's a primary background color, or the primary color. Not sorry. Oh, this is a button primary token. We just need here wireframe color primary, which is a brand level token. I click on it, create it. But it's not applied yet. You can go to inspect and see, okay, no tokens found because that's not applied. How to apply those? It just, you select the correct layer on Figma and just go right click, fill or border. It is filled right now. So it fills this background color here. And for vector, I will have to go deeper on this layer because this layer is this, and then go fill. Okay. That's how the tokens are applied now. Like it will showcase it here as well. This is also showing, okay, tokens are applied. And if you go to deep inspect, specifically if you don't, so this will, if you don't click on deep inspect, it shows the tokens on that particular layer, which you have selected on this layer. If you show deep inspect, it shows all the tokens inside those layers. So it's showcasing both the tokens. Okay. Now, I want to use the background color as well, right? Because how will we change it to a dark mode? Cool. Right now, I don't think I have a theme to make it light or dark. So what I'm thinking is I will just use this semantic layer and duplicate it to a dark layer. There are few methods to do this, which I might use a paid version to showcase you. If it's a paid version, you can create folders in which you can add themes as well. Directly, if you click that, what it does, it is basically tick marks this. So what happens is, this is layer by layer thing. Like global is at top because the last value which holds, like this points to this and this points to this. If I just turn this off and I just turn this off and turn this on, it will point to this because it will have the same name. How? I will show you. Now in semantic token, we don't have a background color. Why? We put background colors in semantic sometimes just to have that control over the backgrounds, because these backgrounds can be very common, right? But for the color, so let me just do color background default. When I add modifiers, which is dash, it stays with the same name, which you will see here. Let me just use the white color for the neutral color for this. Create. You will see background default. So it has that value. Okay, this is a default background color right now. And the same thing I will have to do it here. Let me just delete this right now. I will what I will do is I'll duplicate this because it will take all the values from the previous semantic layer and it will just add it here, dark. Okay. And now I'm going to component because this is a component, right? Component background. So right now, what component are we on? We are on the card component. And which token are we creating? So card, and it's just a background, right? Card's background. And we are pointing it to background default. So that's it. And we created that, and we'll just apply it to it. And you will see in the inspect element, wireframe card background is applied on this layer. Now, one thing, we don't want to change this directly. If we just tick mark this, how will this colors change? That is what we want to see, right? If you go to semantic layer, I just want to add a color called background. Sorry. In semantic layer, I don't want to add any color right now because in the dark mode, if I go into dark mode, I will just change this color, edit, not the name, but I will just change the value to a darker one. And so it is the default value right now. Okay. Now see how it works. Now it will change few values because it travels across this. Now I haven't selected it, activated it. That's why it's not traveling. Like it's not getting the values from the above dark mode. If I just click this, that's it. So that's how it creates a dark mode. If you just unselect this as well, doesn't matter because it's overriding the similar tokens, same name tokens, if from the above layer, which is okay. We have color primary, right? And same we have here, wireframe of color primary, but we have wireframe of color background default. And here I changed the value from background default, but it takes the last value of it. And then component is looking at the last value. That's why it's updated right now. But there are a few issues, like you have to add tokens to this as well, right? Then only it will work. So let's just add a single token right now. I'm just being quick here. Text or something. I won't recommend to use something like this, very simple tokens, but go with detail in this, and I will share the resources as well for you guys to understand it much better. So I'm just adding a text color, which should be okay. Maybe I will just add a text color here, color text regular, just a regular text color, nothing fancy. And I want to point it to a white color, which is neutral 50, create. So text is here. I will just use right click, build. Okay. But what I did is I am currently in dark mode, and I still added this as a white color, but I don't want to, because right now I'm selecting this semantic layer, which is a mistake, which I shouldn't, because background default and text regular. This is the background and this will be the text. You won't be able to see it, right? So just to make it right, I will just change it to 950. Save. It didn't apply because it still carries the old value. And now what I will do, sometimes if you add a few tokens to this layer and you want to add it to this layer, you can just go here, duplicate token, just remove this part because it always adds up regular, and then add 50 here. And we don't want it semantic, right? We just want to copy it in dark, semantic dark, and change the value altogether. Duplicate. It shows there are two values, but resolve duplicates and delete. That's it. So now you will see you have the control here. Now if I do and go and apply to selection, let's see how it again turns back to light mode. Again, dark mode, light mode. And that's how you can do it for bigger interfaces. And this is what travels from this, like not travels, transforms from this to CSS variables, which is easier for developers as well. Like we don't have to give them values, we have to give them tokens. That's what. Look at this, this right now. I will show how we will give those tokens to like transform these tokens to CSS variables and how that CSS variables are used in the components. Okay, but I will show that second part of the components later. But right now, this is how you add tokens and update tokens. Any doubts or any questions right now? Or you can just put questions in the Q&A from the tools section as well. I can answer that. So. Any questions before I move on to the section where you get transform the CSS variables, which is pretty easy just to showcase, but on the dev side is different. Okay, no questions. Cool. Now, just for example, just to showcase quickly to you guys, I'm just exporting this file as multiple files right now. Export. Tokens, wireframe, zip. Okay. And now what I will do is, where's that link? You guys have to go to this link if you exported that as well. You have to go to configurator token studio. I can just share that link here. So you can see like what we had in the design system, like wireframe.color.orange got here, but it will get transformed with the simple CSS transform around here and JS as well. You can add a platform, just random name, build it how you want to build it, then transform group and save it here. I don't know why it's not working right now. Configurator. Let me reload this. Okay. See, this is what happens when you add tokens here. It just changes it to the variables and it holds the value. Just let me see why it's not working, because okay, I don't know what's the problem with this, because it works with the files correctly. I don't know what's the problem here. But yes, how it transforms, I can show you here. Like when you have a token named something like dimension scale, okay, what it transforms it to dash dimension dash scale 2 pixels. What happens is it flattens out all the tokens. Like the values we have here is like wireframe color.primary, right? But what will happen when it will go to a CSS variable is it will just transform it like this. Wireframe dot will be changed to primary. Dot will be changed to a dashed, and then it holds just the raw value of it. So what happens is it transforms, it pushes everything, and it just gives raw values to this particular form. Right now, it will see the raw value, which is F2A06F. F2A06A. This is what will happen, but it won't be like it will be pointing to wireframe.color.orange.300 because it flattens out everything from the tokens. But that is what the power of it is, because on the dev side we need raw values kind of. But if we give variables here, these variables can be pushed through designers, can be transformed on their local build or and then it will just point it and look at for this token. Whatever the values we have given it from the design tokens file, it will automatically apply on that. And that's how you can quickly stylize any developed UI. Like if you have multiple themes, if you build multiple themes on this. So this is just, I changed for semantic layer, but what you can do is you can have these 3 layers like global, semantic, and component layer for each theme. If you have a paid version, you can add sets of it, which is folders of one will be, for example, a dark theme, light theme. And on the component side as well, you don't have to add everything in the single component. Right? You can add a new set. You can just add button or something like that. You can just add particular sets for different components as well. It's on how you want to build the system and how dynamic you want to make it. For enterprise levels, this makes more sense and much easier just to duplicate the set and then change the values in those sets, because on enterprise level, there are so many screens, so many developed versions of it. So you have to be very careful about what you're changing. So it's better if you have less sets. But if you are a SME and you want it more control on the single components, there are a few components which need more changes, like I want button color change or I want this color change. You can create a button set as well in the under this or something. And that's how it will cascade. So that's one of the things what we are covering. 1 second, I will just share again my screen on this. So yes, I think hands-on session went for a bit long. Now, if you guys have any questions, I can answer it here. Or if you have any doubts, you can just, or you want to talk to me, you can just connect me on ADP list and just book a session there. So any questions before we end this session? You will get the recording as well if you guys want a reference to it. Cool, I think no questions. Cool. So thank you guys. These are a few, like you can connect me on LinkedIn as well. And our next session will be more on 2nd August, which is design tokens, but with the components as well. In next section, we'll dive into practical implementation of components, which will use Figma MCP. And also I will show you a small demo of Figma Make too, because how it helps to get to the prototyping quicker and to showcase the potential of what you want from an implementation point of view, not just taking the code, copy pasting it from Figma Make, but just using it for prototyping purpose, and then using Figma MCP to create your own component code without having any coding language, knowledge. Just create a component code and how to keep it intact. And then using these tokens to transform to CSS variables and manipulating this, how we did the light to dark mode right now in Figma, how we can do it in the code, because Figma is just a design layer, right? In the end, implementation is on the code side. So how that works, that will be the next session specifically. Cool. Thank you, guys. We'll connect on 2nd August. I will put up the session as well. I haven't added that session to the ADP list. So thank you, guys. See you in the next session.